person who's 80 years old and you scammed them out of $12,000, they're probably on a fixed income. They worked all their life to save that, and you came in because you didn't want to get a job and you wanted to build your happiness off somebody else's misery.
A woman who scammed an 80-year-old man out of $12,000 is asking for deferred adjudication. She's already done 30 months in federal prison for a $1 million conspiracy targeting the elderly. But Judge Boyd has one burning question, and the answer could make or break her freedom.
I've been told by Becky on the other side, on the civil side, I knew her from CPS cases. She said, hey, you got to cheer for Texas Tech.
No, you don't. No, there's no requirement.
Now, Kelly is saying yes. You all going to have to
That's the reason not to cheer for Texas Tech.
There's going to have to be a debate, right?
Judge, as long as the Longhorns are out, I'm happy.
Ooh. Ooh.
Short horns.
And have you talked to Jason Garhan?
No.
About, what is he, Texas A&M?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of a cult.
And has somebody talked to Notre Dame? They're still upset.
You have deprogramming for all the A&M fans.
I don't even know if I should take this up because of Oklahoma.
Do it for my dad.
Okay. All right. I'll do it for him. He has LSU roots. And your mom. Their love story was so great. Your sister told me about their love story.
She took them by my dad getting arrested.
Yeah, she told me about that. And I can joke with him. We've known each other forever. All right. The court is calling 2023 CR 5888 State versus Annayia Gford. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
For the
for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Ms. Gford? All right. You entered a plea of guilty on October 16th. There was a request for a PSI. And according to your plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. The state is opposed to your application. And there's restitution of $12,000 to Mr. Holtzworth. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI?
Yes, I've reviewed it, Your Honor, and I have no objections.
I don't have any objections, Judge.
All right. And are there any witnesses?
The state has no witnesses, Your Honor.
No, Judge, I just have an argument.
All right. The court will hear argument. State you're opposed.
I am, Your Honor. I'm asking for the court to deny the application and sentence her to 8 years and reserve the rest of my time.
All right. You may proceed.
So, Judge, I want to point out, from looking at this, Ms. Gford was sentenced to federal prison for a conspiracy charge that I think this case arose out of. She was released, I think, actually with a warrant in place from the federal penitentiary, and then made bond here. And I don't know why this was not included originally with the federal prosecution, or if in fact I don't have a copy of the federal PSI, and I can't really determine whether or not the complainant in this one is actually a complainant involved on the federal case. And if the court notes, there's a restitution amount among all the people who were sentenced of $1,235,000. Ms. Gford's currently paying restitution to federal supervised release, which is the federal equivalent of parole for this the federal charges. And she's employed now. She lives in Georgia, and is capable of paying restitution on this case. If the court grants her deferred, obviously it would have been better for her if this case had been included in the federal sentence. I think, how much did you
I got sentenced to 57 months and I served 30 months.
So if the court doesn't grant her application, I ask the court to give her credit for the time she spent in the federal penitentiary. since this is in fact, I think, out of the same fact pattern, and I think the same conspiracy. But I would ask, since she's been released and she's paying restitution now, that the court grant her probation and let her pay restitution on this case as well. Like I said, I have no way of determining what restitution was ordered. I would assume it's jointly and severally among the conspirators, but I don't know if the complainant in question on this case was one of the complainants on the federal case.
All right. And my understanding in this case, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going from memory. This is a case where the complainant was told that their grandson was
That's correct.
in
That's right.
dire straits and that they needed someone to take their money. I'm sorry, they needed someone to withdraw money to save him from the dire straits that he was in.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, State.
Judge, so what Mr. Mauer represented to the court is correct. There was a federal prosecution.
Excuse me just a second. All right, I can see you're pregnant, so there's no need to
I'm not trying to show
Okay.
that off.
All right, thank you. You may continue.
There was a federal prosecution that occurred out of San Diego, and the court is aware of the $1 million restitution that they were ordered to pay out of San Diego. I didn't have anything to indicate that this victim was included in that. However, this was a very big conspiracy that they put together where they were targeting elderly individuals. The victim in this case is 80 years old and was targeted because of that. Called and told that his grandson was in danger and that he needed to spend $12,000 immediately to provide safety to his grandson. And the $12,000 is agreed upon. The evidence did point back that it did go into this defendant's Chase bank account. And in the stipulated evidence, the Chase bank records are in there where the account is belonging to Annayia Gford, Your Honor. And so we would ask that you order the restitution if you do give her community supervision, but I just don't believe that she's a good candidate for community supervision. So we would ask that you deny the application.
All right. I'm not saying I'm going to deny it or grant it, but when are you going to have this $12,000?
If I'm being honest, I can't give a specific date, but I can make payments, whatever you order. If you order for me to make a specific payment, I can work on that.
All right. Here's my question. Do you have any loved ones?
Yes.
Mom, dad? All right. Let's assume that someone's picking up the phone and calling you and saying, hey, your mom has been in this accident and we're going to arrest her unless $12,000 is paid. Right? So look at that as that type of urgency. So when are you going to have this $12,000? Because I can tell you, and your attorney can probably tell you, the person who's 80 years old and you scammed them out of $12,000, they're probably on a fixed income. They worked all their life to save that, and you came in because you didn't want to get a job and you wanted to build your happiness off somebody else's misery. So I want to know when you're going to have this $12,000, and I can tell you the latest is going to be in February.
I can do that.
I think that's a good idea, Judge.
All right. And I'm not saying I'm going to grant it, but what I'm saying, that would probably help your case tremendously because he needs his $12,000. So, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for sentencing in February, and you need to have the $12,000 and you need to be here in court.
I will be here.
All right.
I'll get her to sign a reset form.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you back on February 2nd. At that time, you need to come with $12,000. And State, does that need to be in cashier's check, money order?
And usually there's an upfront restitution form we have to fill out.
I can do that.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.